What you'll see here is the school run, but this is African style. Well, of course, as you can see, it's not a run at all. They've walked from a village 3 miles behind me near Gunju, and they're heading for their school in that direction, which is another 2 miles walk. So their walk in the morning to school is 5 miles, and in the evening it's 5 miles home. They're walking into their school for the afternoon session. There are 2 sessions normally in a Gambian school, morning and afternoon. It's now midday sun, it's blisteringly hot. So their trek to school each day is very, very difficult. Well, this is a typical classroom on a Friday morning. And some of the students you see here will have arrived up to an hour late because of the difficulties in getting into school on time. And this particular classroom is actually well stocked with resources hanging on the walls, as you see. This school in particular has been helped by a number of different sources, including ourselves. But the reality is that a lot of these classrooms in a lot of schools, in fact most schools across the whole of Gambia, are bare. They don't have things hanging on the walls and they don't have books on the shelves. This is a great break on these students' progress through school, and it has a negative impact upon their future lives in this country. Now, if these young students are to become doctors, nurses, teachers, business people, entrepreneurs and managers and writers, then they do need these resources. They do need books to read, and that's where we can help. It is very straightforward to collect books and bikes in the UK, and this is what's going on now, and we need more of them. We store these resources, temporarily at least, at our base in Wiltshire, from where we load out sea containers, where they're transferred to the Gambia.
So Ray, it's good to meet you. What are you doing here today?
Well, I'm here to obviously help load the container as a member of the Rotary Club of South Cotswolds, and also being on the Rotary Executive for Jolly Rider. I was the one that actually brought Jolly Rider to Rotary, or Rotary to Jolly Rider.
And that's turned into being something quite big within Rotary, isn't it?
It is. In fact, it is now one of the international projects on the opportunity to serve library within the Rotary movement in the UK.
So how do you get people to give bikes to Jolly Rider?
In fact, it's quite easy. A lot of Rotary clubs, especially locally, have cycle collection days and book collection days at Tesco's, supermarkets and that sort of thing, car parks. And what we hope that will happen is that not only do they donate the bicycle, but they also donate £10 towards the cost of taking that bike to the Gambia.
So what happens to the bikes after after you've brought them here? Do they pack straight away? Or?
No, what happens, they're here, they're sorted into the various sizes and conditions. They're then taken to one of 7 or 8 prisons in the UK, where the prisoners refurbish them, and then we go back and pick them up, at the same time taking some more for them to refurbish, and they're brought back here, again sorted, ready to be containerised to the Gambia.
High point number 1 for us is the loading out of a sea container at our base in Hallavington, Wiltshire. That happened some 6 weeks ago now, when we loaded 360 bikes into that container, together with books and other school resources. Everything we do in the UK culminates in that loading of the sea container in Hallavington. The second high point for us is this. Today we are handing over 360 bicycles to as many as 5 schools here, and also handing out the books and other school resources that are so badly needed here. It's Thursday morning, it's 10 o'clock, it's very warm already. We have a number of people here that have come to witness this very special event.
The beauty of this scheme for me as a Rotarian is that it encompasses a lot of the ideals that we have in Rotary. We, of course, have got a great emphasis on education, and literacy is a major part of this Jolly Rider scheme. But we must remember that it doesn't just end there. There's a lot of work has to go into getting these bicycles from England to the Gambia, collecting them. So we've got community service collecting the bicycles, we've got vocational service repairing and restoring the bicycles by the prison service. The international side of it, of course, is fairly straightforward. Here I am in the Gambia with the bicycles that we loaded in Wiltshire a few weeks ago. And of course the last and most important thing is literacy. The children that we've met here this week that we're in the Gambia are all benefiting from the advantages of being able to gain an education. These bicycles enable them to get to school and receive the education that they deserve.
When the books and resources are received in the country, they are sifted and sorted by our local team at SIFO. From there, those books are allocated and distributed to schools in the Gambia. And this is one of the school libraries that we've stocked with books. When we first came to this library, it was barely a cupboard with dusty old books on its shelves, and now it's been transformed. And this is what's happening with a number of schools across the Gambia now. But we need more help, and that relies on you. But of course, our programs, Books for Africa and Bikes for Africa, they go hand in hand. For the children to be able to read books, they need to be able to get to school, and of course, that's where the bikes come in. As you can see here, it's made that journey from home to school so much more fun and so much easier. Well, with all the companies, individuals, prisons, schools, and an increasing number of Rotary clubs, all involved in getting this bicycle, and many like them, to the Gambia, it's a bit like, I think, David Cameron's definition of the big society. But whatever it is, with Helen King here, my partner and co-director in the UK, and I'm joined by Saido Blair and Boyo Toure, both directors of Jolly Rider Gambia. In the years that we've been delivering bicycles to the Gambia, since 2006, we've changed the lives of thousands of students here. Now, with your help, with your support, and with your involvement, we can literally change many, many thousands more. And we look forward to talking to you.
I'm Jon Snow, and I'm a jolly rider. Indeed, I depend on a bicycle every working day of my life, and when I taught in Africa, I depended on a bicycle then. Indeed, I had to ride some 15 miles in Uganda from the school to the mailbox just to pick up the post. Bikes are absolutely critical to any school child attending secondary school in Africa, because the schools are a good distance from their villages and homes, and there's no other mechanism of getting there. Books, I don't even need to tell you, you can't really have decent schooling without books. But in the end, you can't have a developing Africa without education. These kids that you've already seen in this film, they are the future of Africa. It is they who will change their countries, they who will change their continent. Not us, but them. But we can do our bit to help them. We can provide bikes. Think about it. There must be one somewhere in the shed. We can do it up, we can send it out, or we can find the money to send new ones. We need your money, we need your bikes, we need your books. But above all, we also need your spirit and your support. That's Jolly Rider. Join us.